Hello everyone, welcome back. And today we are going to develop a program for addition of two matrices. Now, in my last tutorial, we have gone through what exactly a matrix is. And also we have learned how to create a two-dimensional list so that we can make use of the list as a matrix, the nested list, that is a two-dimensional list. So we have learned how to create a two-dimensional list in my previous video. So if you have not gone through that, so I would suggest that first you go through that video and then come back to this one, because in this video we are going to add the two matrices. Okay, now for addition of two matrix we need a basic rule, and that is that both the matrices should have equal dimensions. What I mean by this is, like, this is a 3 by 3 matrix, so even the second matrix should be of the same dimension, that is 3 by 3. So if it is a 3 by 2, then the second matrix should also be of 3 by 2. Okay, so this is the basic condition for adding two matrices. And the second rule is, when we add the elements, we are actually going to add their appropriate positions. For example, this is the first row, first column of matrix 1, that is 12 over here, right? We are going to add that with the first row, first column position, that is 1. So 12 plus 1, and then we are going to store in a third matrix, that is to the first row, first column position, that is 13. Okay, so this will be our third matrix. So 12 plus 1 is 13, and then the first row, second column, that is 45, we will add with the first row, second column of the second matrix. So 45 plus 45, that is 90, and then 67 plus 9, that is 76. So we just need to add the numbers, the elements of their appropriate positions of both the matrices. So 34 plus 4, right? This is the second row, first column. We will add it with the second row, first column of matrix 2. So 34 plus 4, that is 38, and so on. Okay, so this is what we are going to achieve. So let's get started. So now the first thing that I'm going to do is to accept the rows and columns from the user. Okay, so I will accept the number of rows, like enter how many rows, right? And okay, and then I'll just copy this and paste it, and I'll name this as calls. Okay, so enter how many rows, enter how many columns. And then what we need to do is we need to create a two-dimensional list so that we can accept the element to store that in a list, a nested list, a two-dimensional list, which will act like a matrix, right? So I'll just create a list that is L1, and I declare this as empty. I also require a second matrix for this to store the element in the second matrix, and then the result I will store it in L3. So this will be my first matrix, this will be my second, and this will store the addition of both these matrices. Okay. Now the next step is we need to create the two-dimensional array. So I will use a for loop for I in range, and I will give that is rows, number of rows. So if you're not gone through my previous tutorial, you just go through it and just see how I create a two-dimensional list. Okay, so before you actually go through this video, because well, now you will not understand how a two-dimensional list is getting created. Okay, so I'm just assuming that you have gone through that video. So now we will create a two-dimensional list, that is L1. Okay, that is L1 dot append, L1 dot append, and I will just simply do create the number of columns over here. Okay, so this is how we created the first two-dimensional list for L1, and then the same I will do it for L2 and L3. So I just need to replace this with L2 and this with L3. Okay, so now for accepting elements in a matrix, we require two a nested loop. So this will be the run for the number of rows. The I loop and the J loop will run for the number of columns. Okay, and then inside this I will just use L1 of I and J. So this is the first row. This will go for the row, and this will go for the columns. And I say equal to int input. Okay, enter the value at row. Okay, then give a space plus stri. So this will be the row, and then plus again give as space and column, and again plus and J. Okay, and then again plus, give a colon. Now that okay, I just need to give a closing brackets. Okay, now we are done. Okay, so this will basically accept the first matrix. Then similarly we will do that for the second matrix. Okay, so I hope I have closed the column. No. Okay, so this will close the second matrix. Okay, so then this is the second matrix. Now what I need to do is do the addition, right? Okay, just a minute, something is just going wrong. Okay, now we will do the addition for the second matrix. So simple, we will just use the same loop. Okay, same nested loop, and all I need to do is, okay, I just did not made this as L2. Now all I need to do is use the L3. I and J is equal to that is L1 of I and J, first row first column, plus L2 of I and J. Right, that's it. So what we are exactly doing over here is we will take the first row first column, that is 0 0 index, first row first column. So we will take the element from L1, first row first column, then we will add it with the first row first column of matrix 2, and then we will store it in the first row first column of L3, that is the third matrix, isn't it? And then J will turn, if it is for example a 4 by 4, so columns are also 4. So first it will go for 0 0, that is first row first column. Then J will turn, J will have the value as 1, so this will be 0 and 1, so first row second column. And then J will have 2, so first row third column, and so on. So we are actually adding the appropriate positions of the matrix 1 and the matrix 2 and storing it in matrix 3 in their appropriate positions. So this is how we are actually doing it. It's very simple. So if you just go through this, you will understand how exactly it is working. For your understanding, what we will do is, let us trace this. So let us debug this, and for that I need to go to Python shell, and I need to just put my debugger on. Okay, then come back to your program, press F5 or click on run and run module, and I say yes. I just save this program like add matrix, okay, .py. Okay, and then you can see we will have this watch window over here, which is asking you how many rows. This statement is going to get executed once I click on over. So you can see over here how many rows. I say I'll give a small, that is 2. The moment I press enter against the the watch window gets active, and then again I press over, and you can see how many columns. I'll give this also as 2, so I'll give a small sample, and then you can see the rows are 2, columns are 2, so you can see your variables and the value of those variables. You can also see the L1, that is empty right now, and then click, this is L2, this is L3. So L1 is empty, L2 is empty, and L3 is also empty. And then you can see that L1 will be converted into a two-dimensional list. Okay, I'll just make this a bit bigger. Okay, so you can see that L1 is empty, L2 and L3 are empty. If I click on over, you can see how the things are working. You can see the first row got created in L1, then the second row and the columns, and then okay, this was like 2 by 2, so 2 rows and 2 columns, and then for L2 we are creating 2 rows, 2 columns, and then for L3 just keep on pressing over, and you can see how the things are changing out here. Okay, so then click on over, and then we are actually moving for accepting the values. Now this is like row 0, col 0. This should be actually 1, so I should just add +1 to it. So I'll give 12, and you can see the number 12 got stored in L1, that is first row, first column. So click on over, we have this number like it's 23. Okay, and then again first row, okay, first row, first column, first, okay, yeah, so this is actually a second row, first column, right? Okay, so I just need to make, okay, I'll just, for your otherwise you'll get confused, so I'll make this as +1 so it will be clear to you, and again I will trace that. Okay, now I'll just will run this. So is my debugger on? I'll just check that, and go to the shell. Okay, I'll just make the debugger on. Okay, and now we just press F5, click OK, and now you can see the watch window is in front of you. Click over, I'll just give 2, press enter, the window will get active again. Press over, give 2, and now you can see the the two-dimensional list getting created over here. It's over here. Now these are the lists that got created, two-dimensional list. Then it will ask for first row, first column. Now this is more appropriate. Then this first row, second column, right? Then the second row, first column. Okay, and the second row, second column, and that's it. So this was the first matrix, and then this is the second one, second matrix. Okay, so keep on pressing on over, so step by step it will execute it. Okay, give some numbers. Okay, give like 1, and okay, so we have not displayed our matrix. So simple. I have to display this matrix is, I'll just go to one more, just use one for loop for I in range, and go for number of rows, and just display the elements of L3 where we have stored the addition. So I'm just displaying the innermost list by using one for loop. Okay, now I will just run this and we will see the output. Okay, so if you trace it, if you just debug your program, you can just step by step, you can just get the values. So I'll just give 2 by 2. This is the first matrix. There will be total 4 elements, and now you can see first row, first column. This is the second matrix. So you can place some appropriate messages, first matrix, second matrix, and so on. And here it is. So 12, that is first row, first column, that is 12, got added with the first row, first column, that is 56. So that is 68, isn't it? Then the first row, second matrix got added with first row, second column got added with first row, second column of the second matrix. So 34 plus 23, so that is 57, and so on, right? So this is how you can add the matrices. So basically, okay, I'll just give some proper messages over here, that is enter. Okay, like enter elements for first matrix. Okay, I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here, and this is for the second matrix, isn't it? And then over here also I'll paste it and change it like the result, something like this. Okay, the result. So now I got my appropriate messages, and now we will run it one more time and you can now understand it. 2 by 2, this is like enter the element for the first matrix. Okay, and then you can see the second message, enter the elements for the second matrix, right? And then this is the result, right? So this is how you can add two matrices. It's very simple if you are only aware how to create a two-dimensional list, how this thing works. So again, I repeat, if you're not much aware of it, please go to my previous video and go through it and then come back to this video. Okay, so I hope you have understood this tutorial. Bye for now. So if you have liked my video, do subscribe to my channel. There is a subscribe button in front of you. Click it right away. And after that, click on the bell icon so that you can get the regular notifications of my videos. Bye for now.